This is the April 17th program. I want to welcome everybody here, to the Sedona Connection program. I'd sent out in my newsletter that I was inviting my special guest here tonight, Barbara Joy. We've been very good friends for, a little over 10 years now. And I've always told her at some point in time I wanted to bring her on the program. And as I said in the newsletter, folks, it's extremely rare for me to bring a guest on. So the fact that I brought her along says a lot about the
Thank
wonderful,
you.
special lady
Thank
that
you.
she is.
Thank you.
We met about 10 years ago when we were attending the Unity Church together here in Sedona. And that's when I became acquainted with her wonderful talents as of what I call an intuitive. And I cannot tell you how the giftedness that she has on that and the quality that comes out of the times that I have with her. And when I go in there and I have sessions with her, I can ask questions. They come, they're pertinent, they're right on, they're exactly what I need to hear. Sometimes it's the stuff I don't want to hear, but it's still very important for me
Yeah.
to process all
Yeah.
of that. And it's always like Spirit speaks through her and is always a step ahead of everything that I need in my life. And when I've got some very important decisions that I need to make, and I'm not quite certain about how to go about it myself, I usually always schedule a session with her. And I'm never disappointed. I have referred a number of people to her, and I have never, ever had anybody mention that they were ever disappointed.
Thank
So,
you.
welcome
Thank
to the
you.
program tonight. So,
Thank you.
go ahead.
All
All right?
right.
Yes.
Well, thank you, everyone, and thanks, Dave. It is a real honor for me to be here. And of course, I brought my peeps with me, and I will introduce you to who they are in a moment. And whenever you catch me saying we, that is them talking to you. Oh, yeah, they're ready to. Okay. So, what I do and one of the things, and I work for Spirit. And so I said, Spirit, okay, I work for you. What do you want to do during this opportunity that has been presented to us? And Spirit said, keep it simple and understandable, and then we're going to go from there. So keep it simple. And Spirit kept saying, kiss it, kiss it, kiss it. So that's what we've done. Now, this work can and does go really deep. So don't, because we've kissed the approach here, please don't think that it's a very light thing that we do, because it's not. It goes very deep. And Spirit always tailors the session to who is in front of us needs. Very personal. Okay, so what I do, or what we do, simply put, is we help people release their suffering and empower themselves. We help people travel from disharmony and into harmony. Different ways that clients say it, they'll call and they'll say, I'm feeling stuck and I don't know how to get unstuck. Or I'm repeating the same pattern of self sabotage or self limitation, self judgment, whatever, over and over, and I can't figure out how to stop it. Another one is, why do I keep attracting the same type of relationships? One of our favorites is, what is my purpose? What am I meant to be doing at this point in my life? Do I have any special gifts? For couples, it can be any kind of relationship issues, but one of them is, my spouse and I keep having the same argument over and over, and we're both sick of it, and yet we can't seem to get past it. Why does this person, thing, or situation trigger my anger so easily? When that happens, there's a lot there to look at. And that's not judgmental. It's just like, that shows how multifaceted some issues people bring to us can be. And another example is, I keep experiencing a repetitive injury and the doctors aren't able to bring me relief, and we've tried everything. What's going on? Okay. So how do we do this? Well, it's all about energy. And Dave has been talking to you. Energy, 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 energy. Okay. So we are going to be reading and clearing people's energies. We read their energy fields and we access the conscious and subconscious mind through the Akashic Soul Records. And we'll explain that in a little bit. I've been very blessed to be given the divine gifts of being able to not only read people's energy fields, but also I have been given the gifts of clairaudience, claircognizance, clairvoyance, and clairsentience, and that assists with everything that occurs during a session. I am a divine channel, an energy healer, and Akashic Soul Records consultant. By the way, Akashic. I like Akashic. I've also heard people say Akashic, and it's pronounced other ways. So whatever you like, you can use. I like Akashic, so that's why I say that, and calling it the Akash. Okay. I'm also, as Dave mentioned, an intuitive and a transformational coach and a medical intuitive. I am working on getting my master's in medical intuition. It's so cool.
That's new. You didn't tell me. So you're working on getting your master's degree in medical intuition.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
it's
great.
so cool.
Oh, that would be nice.
And
That's
what
great.
it's all about, it just fits everything that I do.
It
Because
does,
it's all
yes.
about
Yeah.
if someone has an issue, let's say something happens to my hand and it's not healing well, the allopathic medicine, they've done everything they know to do, but it's not healing well. It's like, okay, let's go take a look at what's happening to it, what's happening from an energetic point of view. And you know what? One of the big surprises that people are always surprised because it's in their subconscious mind is they have a belief that for some reason they don't want to heal or they're incapable of healing. That's amazing.
And I understand that the Akash is basically all the history of your past lives.
Yeah, we're going to talk
Right,
about
okay.
that.
And that's what you bring forward. And those histories carry over in your DNA from lifetime to lifetime. Because a lot of the things that we do now, our beliefs, our personalities, are carryovers from past lives. And that's the DNA that carries that over from lifetime to lifetime.
Yes.
So what we have is sometimes problems or issues from past lives that we are still bringing forward, and our job is to learn how to release those and heal those. And as I said, you're the master at helping people do that. You don't need a master degree. You already are a master.
Thank you.
That's my impression.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and Dave is right. But we hold the Akash. This is what I know today because this is what Spirit has shared with me, is not only in our DNA, but it's in our subconscious and conscious mind, predominantly subconscious, and all the way into the cellular memory of the body.
Yeah.
Right. And how it works. And we're not going to ignore childhood because a lot of stuff happens in childhood. But as far as previous incarnations go, how it works with the Akash is that whenever we have discordant or negative, unresolved, unhealed, and uncleared discordant energies, we as a soul keep bringing them forward incarnation into next incarnation into next incarnation for the purpose of being able to get them healed, to get them cleared and healed and resolved. And then we don't have to deal with them anymore. We have experienced the soul growth and the soul expansion from them. But like, oh my gosh, I had I found my notes today about my mother. And a lot of sessions I had to do with her, and it was like I had 668 past lives with her, including this one.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I married her also in this one. So it's like, oh my God, when's it ever going to end? But, I'm getting on top of it, and it's, I'm confident I'm not going to have to do any more.
Well, let's make sure. You said you married her. Was that in a past life, your mother? Because you said you married her, and I picked up, how did you marry your mother?
Oh,
that's the thought that crossed my mind.
Well,
you need to clarify that one. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back around to that.
All right,
maybe, because
okay,
that's personal.
All right.
Okay, And so, anyway, the beings that are so beautiful that I love channeling is the incredible Jesus. I call them my peeps. I love calling them my peeps. Is Jesus, his teacher Baba G, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and Holy Spirit. I
Yes, yes,
love
yes,
when Holy
yeah.
Spirit comes in.
So those are the ones that are all come through and speak
Oh, and the
through you.
company of heaven.
Right.
And the company of heaven.
So those are the ones that when you're picking up the stuff and what you're hearing, they're the ones that are coming through and speaking through you.
Yes, because the contract that I have with Spirit and the world today is that I would allow them to use this body vessel. So what happens is as I'm preparing the field to work with a client, my ego self steps off to the side.
Yeah.
And I who knows what I'm doing over there, but they come in. I'm not a trans channel where they take over my body because I wouldn't agree to that. That didn't make me feel comfortable. They come in and they use all of my clairs and they speak light language to me. And then the body vessel just basically translates. And so it still looks like me and sounds like me because that's for the client's comfort, but it's not me.
Yeah.
I make that very clear. And they've told me that anywhere from 10 to 20% of me is the only thing that stays involved. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we need to know. Okay. So also other ascended masters and beings will come in if the client needs them to come in. Like Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. She comes in a lot, especially when the client is needing self-compassion. She comes in to work with them. It's so amazing and beautiful.
You know, what's interesting is all the years that I've known you and I've had sessions with you, I've never really known who was coming through. This is the first time I've actually heard that
Yeah.
because I've always been able to so trust
Oh, thank you.
what was coming through.
Yeah.
I never had to question anything. And there was always that feeling of this is right. This
Yeah.
is good. And I could trust and I could tell that you had a very deep connection with spiritual entities or a spiritual aspect. And that I could always trust everything you were saying.
Thank you.
And that's 10 years of history.
Yeah.
So it's
thank
just
you.
not, this is not a first time shot.
Yeah.
That's 10 years of us being good friends and 10 years of history of when I would come to you. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And a lot of my clients tell me that, and I'm just so very grateful. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we're going to get back to the energy of it all because science has proven everything is energy.
Yes, right.
Science has proven that we are energetic beings. All this stuff is energy. It just when we're in our human ego, it seems very dense. Yeah, because that's this dimension. We are multifaceted, multiple aspects of us, and that we are existing in unlimited ways in unlimited dimensions. Yeah. And so we can even actually be clearing things happening in another dimension while we're in clearing in this dimension also. And things can come forth to bother the person from other dimensions, but this is the dimension where they work on getting that cleared. Okay? All righty. So most people understand the energetic field. Most people know we have an aura, we have energy centers, we have chakras, things like that. However, I've found that not many people are aware of what the Akashic Soul Records are. And I'd like to share that with you in two different ways to explain them very easily in two different ways. The first one will be for us non-techies, and the second one will be for the techies. For us non-techies,
Okay.
is pretend like you've got a book. Ooh, there we go. You got a book and it's got your soul name on it. And everything you've experienced from this point back through this life and all your other incarnations is in here. And there's there's incredible stories in here. So let's see. Let's take one of the things that people call about. Let's see. Oh, I keep repeating the pattern of self-sabotage. Well, why is that? Well, let's go into your Akash and find out. Oh, look here. Chapter 3. This is a great story. And look at all of the limiting beliefs, perceptions, and judgments and other types of discordant energies. We've got some cords, we've got some contracts. All this stuff is in here. And Spirit just goes in and lifts it all out.
Yeah.
We keep the story and then we replace it with the opposite energy. And that's part of, as we do that layer by layer, how you move from suffering to empowerment, from disharmony to harmony. Yes. Now, hopefully that made sense. Okay. For the techies, look at this as a beautiful hard drive computer. And our subconscious and conscious minds are where we load programs. And research has proven that from the age of 0 to 7 in this incarnation, we're like these beautiful energetic sponges. And we're taking everything in going on around us, trying to make sense of us. And for a sense of it, for a lot of us, it's trying to survive. So parents, don't think if you're in your bedroom arguing because you believe it's not good to argue in front of the kids, that kids are picking it up anyway. It doesn't mean that you should go and argue in front of your kids. It just means become more conscious about your energy, how you're interacting with yourself, your spouse, what you're carrying, because your kids are picking all of this stuff up, even though you think they don't. And so as this is happening, that 0 to 7-year-old is creating software programs, ways of thinking, doing, and believing and acting, that they are loading those programs into the subconscious and the conscious mind.
Right.
And they can serve you very well. But when you get to be an adult, a lot of those become obsolete and you have to take them off and put one in that works. Or they get Trojan horses or viruses, and you have to get rid of those, just like your software programs. Does that make sense?
It does. In fact, it's interesting because you're saying that, because see, the reading that I've done, this is, we live 95% of our day from the programming in the subconscious mind.
That is 100%
It is the
correct.
subconscious mind that totally dominates and controls our life. So what that means is, whatever comes up in front of your face at any given moment, how you choose to react or how you choose to think about it is programming in the subconscious mind.
Or as 100% correct.
Yes.
Or how you do, not choose to, how you do
Yeah.
react. Because some of us, we've got, let's say there's a software program and that we carry that something someone says just immediately triggers us and makes us angry. And there's no choice involved in that. But that's a software program.
That's right. And that's the key, is because, see, it's a software program and it can be changed.
It can be changed, baby.
You can change that programming in your subconscious mind.
Yes.
That basically, is the impact of how you live out your life on a day-to-day basis, and how you react in relationships with other people, and how you think about yourself. It's all programmed.
Yes.
It's the programming that you put in there. And the subconscious mind is the mind that carries forward from lifetime to lifetime.
Absolutely.
Through your DNA.
Absolutely.
It carries forward.
Yes. Yes. And we're here to help you make the shift easier.
Yes. Right. Yes. And that's what she does, and she's a master at it.
Yeah, thank you. There was something, we wanted to give a quick example. Let's say for some reason as a child, you learned that how you could very easily get your own way was by throwing a temper tantrum. And that you go, oh, this works. I'm going to log it in as a software program, and that's what I'm going to do. But when you get to be 18 or older, you get into relationships, good luck with holding on to that one. Not many people are going to,
let you do your temper tantrums in a nice relationship.
Okay.
Or in your job.
Oh my God. Or your teachers in college.
That's right,
or, So let's see. You did a great job of helping us through that. Oh, okay. So a very common subconscious, or in the Akash, many people block or software program that people carry are limiting beliefs, perceptions, and judgments. And they're very common. And these cause all kinds of suffering, all kinds of disharmony. And that is formed as quite often in this childhood, okay, even at work, even at school, things like that, even society programs all their people. But anyway, and then like Dave said, you go back into the Akash from there. But these limiting beliefs, perceptions, and judgments are usually reflective of unworthiness, guilt, shame, remorse, a lot of things like that. And these are from things that happened in previous incarnations. Okay? And remember the example that I gave you of why do I keep repeating this pattern of self-sabotage? Well, some of the limiting beliefs, perceptions, and judgments that come up are, I don't deserve to be successful. Or I'm unworthy of having love in my life. Or I'm not good enough. Or life isn't safe. There's all kinds of beliefs that we carry that are creating some of these patterns that we have, self-sabotaging or otherwise. And so we go in there and we go, oh, you go back to the book. Oh, look, right here. Here's one of your core wounds. I'm not good enough. Well, let's start hammering away at that one, because, well, let me get to the next part now. All of this is ancient wisdom based on universal laws. Okay? So if you study universal laws, this will make sense to you. The other thing we want people to know is how this works energetically is all of the software programs that you're holding in your conscious and subconscious mind, the good, the bad, and the indifferent of it all, they are vibrational. Yes. And we are like these beautiful, energetic antennas, radio antennas, and we are sending out the vibrations of what we have in here. We're sending them out into the field, whose job it is to send it back to us, to mirror it back to us, to give us an incredible opportunity to become aware of what those are and do our work to clear them. Yeah.
I mean, I've been in the past couple months, I've been, sharing programs talking about awareness and consciousness. And the best way is to always be in touch with the energy you feel you're vibrating. And the bottom line is low energy feels like crap. You can feel it. You can feel it. See, here's the thing is, I've always shared that our greatest enemy is fear. And you will feel the fear before you process it in your mind. So if you can become really in touch with your feelings and your emotions, I call those, they're basically the navigators of the soul. They tell you what's going on. Your feelings and the emotions are the energy of your thoughts.
Yes.
So they tell you what you're thinking. They tell you what you're producing. And then what you need to do, you let go of the low vibration energy and you go back into higher vibrational thoughts, and you will begin to even feel the shift and the change that goes on within your body, again, because you feel your thoughts in your body.
And I would like to insert here, though, that you've done enough work that you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
Do you remember a time in your life where you were not able to get in touch with what was going on?
Oh,
all you
absolutely.
could do was stay immersed in the suffering?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, it's really interesting was because it was about 13 years ago when I was still living in Washington State. I had this huge awareness of the fact that I don't know how to process fear in my life. Fear is dominating, and fear is keeping me from accomplishing what I want to accomplish and being who I want to be. And I was absolutely determined that I was going to start learning how to recognize and heal the fear in my life. And that is the biggest change that I've had. And that was the change that brought me to where I am today.
Yes.
Because if you would have asked me to 13 to 14 years ago about what I was doing, I would have said, you're absolutely crazy. I have no idea what you're talking about. But it was shortly
Yeah.
after that that I learned how to deal with that, that I heard really strongly from Spirit that I was to move down here to Sedona. And getting in touch with the people here, all of that was the process that was happening in my life, the healing that was taking place. And it all started by learning how to recognize and deal with fear.
Yeah.
Because I've always said, fear is your greatest enemy. It's the greatest enemy that you have because it will keep you, because it's a very, very low vibrational energy. As I said, you will always feel it
Yeah.
before you recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well put. Let's see if there's keeping it simple. Your subconscious beliefs, the limiting beliefs, create the emotions, the feeling, the conscious thoughts that create your actions. And you can choose, you get to the point where you can choose what your actions are. You don't have to hop on that super highway you've got in your brain. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about that. And hop in your little car and drive 120 miles down to a brick wall. I remember when I had that habit. Oh my God, it was absolutely painful and suffering and yeah, but a lot of people still do. But like Dave said, you just, one of the most empowering things you guys can do for yourselves is to pay attention to your thoughts.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How, your thoughts are the determiners of the energy that you are processing and experiencing. Your thoughts are telling you your thoughts are telling you the energy that's going on within yourself and where you're going or what you're trying to do or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's that, and sometimes they do come forth in, like you say, with fear. I feel this fear. Then, okay, what's this fear about? And
Yeah.
you walk through it, or you reach out to people to help you with that.
Let me just say a side note. When I said that I worked so hard in overcoming my fear, I truly have.
Yeah.
It is extremely, extremely rare for me to have what I call a bout of fear. And this has been going on now for about 6 to 7 years.
Good for you.
I just don't experience fear anymore. Whatever comes at me, there's no fear that is there. If it does come, I'm able to spot it immediately and let it go.
Nice.
And
nice. Good for you.
And it took work.
Yeah.
But it has
Yeah.
totally, totally changed my life.
Good.
It's like, I've had sessions with Barb about, the exchange and stuff like that. And we're not going to go into all those details tonight. That was part of the agreement. But she's always, when I first started doing all this exchange, work, there were thoughts in the back of my mind that said, is this for real? Is this really real? Is this really happening? Am I really the one that was supposed to do that? And a lot of it was the sessions that I had with her helped bring that sense of correctness, confidence. And I remember the one time that Spirit came through you. It was so strong. It says, you are living your primary purpose and assignment in this incarnation and lifetime and what you're doing right now.
Interesting.
That's why you came here. I came here as this is my primary mission in this lifetime, is to release all of this and to be able to move all these funds out to the people that are participating.
Nice.
And I'm very peaceful with it. I'm very comfortable with it.
You are.
And I know that now. So there's no doubt about that. I know some of you have been sending me emails and you maybe get a little bit impatient. It says, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And I can tell you, I don't know. I have no idea. Let me just share this real quickly.
Yes, please. Well, we're going to get something here. Yeah.
That I had a guy that emailed me the other day, and he was having some questions. Was this ever going to happen? And I said, I've always talked about the place where the funds are is called the Texas Processing Office. But I have to let you know, they don't communicate with me, and they don't tell me anything because I'm a public voice. And I could be the person that could accidentally say something to 2,000 to 4,000 people that could end up creating huge problems and get the whole program shut down. So they don't tell me anything that's going on. They will not communicate with me. And it's for the protection of all of us that they don't do that. And as I've said, they will never ever pre-announce when the funds are going to be released, and that's for security reasons. We have to be patient, and I think sometimes they don't always really know either. They have a good idea. There's some of the staff there that have a good idea, but they're just not. And it's for safety and security for all of us. But trust the fact when those funds are released, it's going to totally change our lives. And more than that, we get to be in the opportunity of helping to change others.
The Club of Impatience is a huge club.
Yeah,
And energetically, it is a lesson for many of
it
us.
is. Yes.
And I love we love this saying, all is well. Everything is happening exactly as it should in divine order for my highest and best good.
Yeah.
You know, it's fascinating because Spirit knows what's in our highest and best interest. And there are times I will go to Spirit and say, because my ego wants XYZ, and Spirit says, and I've learned to listen. And even though my ego, like this, you know, Spirit will eventually show me why it didn't allow this and said, go this direction instead. It will show, and I'll go, oh, that makes perfect sense to me, because I, in my human ego, could not foresee something happening over here that, or excuse me, I should say something happening over here that it was in my highest and best interest to not be involved with at all. Yeah. Or something happening over here that was in my better interest. Sure. So impatience is a lesson that many of us energetically, it would be wise for us to, when we're feeling impatient, it's like, are we not trusting in Spirit? Are we not trusting ourselves? Are we not trusting? And you don't know, when we are impatient, you don't know how many lessons are in there for you to go in and grab.
So let's do this. We've been actually besides the delays in the beginning, we've been going for about a half hour.
Okay.
So we might want to look at getting ready to wrap up. Is there anything specific more that you want to share, or anything you want to bring
I
forward?
hope that this has been very clear to people what we do. If we have time, I could share a few stories, but if you need to wrap up, that's okay.
Let's just go ahead and wrap up.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you've done such a great job of just
Thank you.
expressing who you are and the giftedness that you have and the importance that we have in all this. Now, folks, here's what has been the agreement, that I've had with Barb. We're not going to share her phone number, but why don't you give your email?
Thank you.
Your email.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also, I will also send the email out in the newsletter tomorrow with this edited program.
So how you can book a session with me is actually go to my website, barbara-joy.com, and you can book and pay right there. It shows when I'm available. And my email is on there also. You can email me through the website.
Okay. So it's barbara.joy.com.
No. Barbara-joy.com.
Barbara.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's start this over again.
It's one more time. Barbara-joy.com.
Okay, all right. Yes. And remember, you don't have to be live with her. She does sessions over Zoom. She can do sessions over the phone. The Zoom calls are really good, though, for if you're at a distance, because you still get to have what I call somewhat face contact with each other on the Zoom calls. And so she does those a lot. And she is basically moving into the point where this is going to be your full-time job. And this is what I know, all the years I've known you, that's what you wanted to do.
It's what I wanted to do.
You wanted to be able to move into this being your full-time job.
Yeah.
And you're almost there on that. So you have to schedule things with her. Sometimes that schedule could be a couple of weeks out sometimes, but it's well worth it. And as I said, you go to her website, and again, I will send that out in the newsletter tomorrow as well, her email and her website, and you'll see what she charges for that. And she has to charge because it's her job. This is how you make your living, just as what other people do as well. So,
and I'm very good at what I do.
You are.
Yeah. And
you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you get a lot for what
you do, folks. As I said, I've been having sessions with her for over 10 years, and I've referred her to a number of friends, and I have never, ever had one person say they were ever disappointed in the sessions and the time that they have with her. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Alrighty,
everyone.
okay.
Much love to you. Many blessings. Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
And I will just exit stage left.
Okay, hold on just a second. So
Okay.
thank you folks for joining us tonight. Now I'm going to edit this video because it does get saved on Facebook, and I'm really sorry about the folks on Blog Talk Radio. And so that meant we weren't able to, take any calls in tonight. But all is well, and we will see you next week. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.